Hello, everyone. My name is Hannah Billings. I attended GW Law with Mychael, and we quickly became very close friends. I couldn't be there tonight, but I really wanted to share some words with her loved ones, just to show another piece of Mychael. At these kind of gatherings, we often hear the same phrases. She lit up a room, her laughter filled up every space, she was a wonderful person, and sometimes, if we're being so honest, you wonder, was all of that really true? Was someone really that kind, that bright, and that unforgettable? With Mychael, I can tell you those words don't even begin to scratch the surface. When I think about what a true friend is, I think about Mychael. Even though I had only known her since August, I was always surprised by how much life we packed into that short time, how much I learned about her, how many moments we shared, and how deeply she impacted me. First, I have to talk about how incredibly smart she was, which I'm sure you all know. When I first found out her age, I was stunned. I remember saying, Mychael, you are literally so young. And she would come back and say, well, you're old. And that became our thing. But truly, her intelligence was on a different level. My mom even started calling her the prodigy. So I would tell her on the phone, hey, I'm with Mychael. And she would go, oh, the prodigy. And honestly, that fit, except Mychael would have hated it because no matter how brilliant she was just as humble. I remember one time we spent weeks studying for this one exam, stressing about it, wondering who on earth could have ever gotten that highest score. And, the whole time, Mychael, she didn't really say a word about it. She just agreed. It wasn't until much later, after a lot of very persistent questioning on my behalf, that I realized that it was Mychael. But that was Mychael. She could do something incredible and never ever feel the need to announce it. Instead, she would turn around and help you. Quietly excellent and endlessly generous. And it wasn't just academics. She had so many talents and still no ego, which she could have had, but she didn't have one. When she had her law cappella performance coming up, she was so casual about it. Meanwhile, I was basically her manager telling everyone, you have to come see the performance, you have to come. And she would be like, Hannah, stop. And I'm so grateful we did all go and support her because seeing her on that stage doing her thing, it was amazing. And I'm really glad I got to experience that. But Mychael wasn't just brilliant, she was incredibly fun. So we lived in the same neighborhood, so occasionally we would walk home together. And one night we passed these seesaws in the park. And so we looked at each other, and obviously, as adults, we immediately got on. And unfortunately, I didn't get off the seesaw gracefully at all. I fell. Mychael started laughing, and of course, I started laughing too. And it was a really nice memory to have. But if you knew Mychael, you knew her laugh. It was so genuine, so contagious, and the kind of laughter that made everything feel lighter. And she could have fun anywhere. Even when the DJ wasn't good and I was standing in the corner being boring, Mychael would be out there dancing, and somehow she would pull me right in with her. She also had a really strong karaoke game, which I deeply respected, hope to get to her level one day. And beyond all of that, she was incredibly thoughtful. If I got hurt, she had a first aid kit. If I was feeling down, she would recommend the perfect tea. And of course, she had an entire collection she would talk to me about. If I was stressed about school, she would sit there, listen to me complain on and on, calm me down, even though she was dealing with the same exact stress. She always made space for other people. And most importantly, Mychael was a true friend. One night, we got back really late after a really fun night out. We got to my apartment door, and then I realized something was very wrong. Again, I had forgotten my keys, and I told her over and over, Mychael, please go home. Please, it's fine. This is not your problem. It's me. Please go home. But that wasn't Mychael. She wouldn't go home. She offered to let me stay at her place, but I'm allergic to her cat severely, so I wasn't able to do that. So instead of leaving, she sat down next to me on the ground, leaning on my apartment door. And then there we were at 3 a.m. on the ground eating ramen. And she refused to leave until I got inside. Hours later, unfortunately, after many calls to a locksmith, my roommate finally opened the door, woke up, and let me in. And only then did Mychael go home. She was tired. She didn't have to stay. I told her not to, but she stayed anyway. And that was Mychael. In a lot of ways, though, we were opposites. She liked cats. I'm allergic. She walked. I took the train. She was confident in her choices. Meanwhile, I was calling her before going out. Mychael, please, I don't know what to wear. I don't think I can go. Completely indecisive. And, she always knew what she wanted to do and who she wanted to be. But somehow it worked. We found so much joy in our differences, so much connection in the things we shared, especially our love for the arts. I remember being in awe of her, like, wait, on top of everything else, on top of being smart, gorgeous, you sing too, and you sing well. And we encouraged each other to keep that part of ourselves alive during law school, me with orchestra and her with la cappella. And I'm so, so grateful I got to see her do what she loved. There are so many more stories I could tell, truly so many. We used to talk about the future, about going through law school together, about all the things she was going to do, all the ways she was going to change the world. And I knew she was going to. There was never a doubt in my mind. I never told her this, but I would say to myself, wow, what a cool thing it'll be when we're both attorneys and I can say, oh yeah, Mychael's my friend. Because I knew she was going to do something amazing to completely change the world. But the truth is, she already did. She already did change the world. She did for everyone who knew her. I'm sure for everyone in this room. And she definitely, without a doubt, changed mine for the better, without a doubt. To know Mychael was to absolutely love her. So no, she didn't just light up a room. She didn't just have an amazing laugh. She wasn't just a wonderful person. She wasn't just beautiful inside and out. She was so much more. And I feel so, so incredibly blessed and lucky that I got to call her my friend. Thank you.